So now, if we actually look at another different aspect of, I think, how people view corporate media, is that many Americans are consuming their information via online, supporting independent media networks, such as yourself, or Hardlines Media, or Nico House, Tim Black, numerous other independent media sites. But the problem is now, especially on YouTube and Twitter and other forms of social media, a lot of these channels are being threatened, or they're possibly be shut down, banned. You mentioned on your show that a lot of your subscribers have been unsubscribed from your channel. So really, what is the future of independent media, especially in this day and age where one journalist or somebody gets easily offended and then they go after YouTube content creators who specifically want to create independent media?
So that's what happened in 2016, right? So the word went out, you're not allowed to cover Bernie Sanders unless it's negative, right? So that's how the Washington Post writes 16 negative stories in 16 hours or whatever that was. And they fire Ed Schultz because he dared to cover Bernie Sanders. Meanwhile, they're covering Trump's empty podium hour by hour. That literally happened. So people went around the mainstream news media and they came to places like YouTube, the Young Turks, that covered Bernie Sanders, and that scared them. They didn't, and they went to Twitter and Facebook and they got their information about Bernie Sanders. So when you're at a rally, the Bernie Sanders supporters are a room full of, a stadium full of people would be chanting CNN sucks.
Right.
And now, and everyone pretends that didn't happen now because it's the Trump voters who are chanting CNN sucks. And they're like, oh, look, they hate journalism. No, it was progressives they fucking hate you guys. They hate the corporate bought, military industrial complex, fossil fuel funded news media that, amplifies a guy like Jake Tapper who comes out with this, is a fact checker and says that Medicare for all costs more than the system we have right now, with a straight fucking face. And they're going to lose their Facebook page because that's fake news. And that's their stock and trade is fake news. And now people, so they want to, so they're afraid of places like independent places like you, places like our show, they're afraid of independent media on YouTube, no matter what it is, because it's taking away their advertising dollars. And so they're trying to scare the advertisers away and scare people, and they're trying to demonize YouTube just in general. And it's working, I think. Google, which owns YouTube, keeps caving, and they keep changing the algorithms that prioritize independent news. So that scared them. People could go around them and get news, and even about war, right? So I think that's the biggest thing. Like the reason my show was kind of the success of my show is that I focus more on the war bullshit more than anybody. Like I was out in front debunking Syria. Just ridiculous, crazy.
Or even the very fact that Iran supposedly attacked 2 tankers.
Yes.
In fact, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't. Or Venezuela.
Right.
I had beat CNN three weeks on New York Times by debunking that bullshit CNN story about how it was the government setting the aid on fire. Of course it wasn't. Of course it was the opposition who did that. And Max Blumenthal debunked it in real time. I reported on my show in real time, and it took 3 weeks for the rest of the media to catch up to our story.
Right.
Me. Why is it so really people at MSNBC don't know who Max Blumenthal is? They don't have. Why wouldn't they have? But by the way, just so you beyond a doubt, that they're not honest actors, and they're dealing from the bottom of the deck over at MSNBC and CNN. Why wouldn't they have on anybody who was a skeptic of Russiagate, who had kind of counter narrative?
Well, you can't break the neoliberal message.
Right? The last time Glenn Greenwald was on MSNBC was like the December of 2016. And so all through Russiagate, they didn't bring on Aaron Matei, who won an award for his work. I guess they don't know who Bill Binney is, who could talk about the leak. He was the #1 code breaker at the NSA. Smartest guy who ever worked at the NSA. Mm-hmm. FBI tried to frame him. He's so smart, he outsmarted them. Right. They tried to put him in jail. He beat them. That's how smart he is. MSNBC doesn't know who he is. How do I know who he is? They know who John Kiriakou is. he also helped debunk it. They know who people are, the veterans, the VIPs, Veterans Intelligence Professionals for Sanity. I know who they are. I'm sure Chris Hayes knows who they are. Never has them on. Never has anybody on with a counter narrative. Those people are beards of the military-industrial complex.